Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. 32 teams, 32 days, and today we're talking about the San Francisco 49ers, a team that I predicted to make the playoffs last season, so I don't know why you're listening to me. Now, we can blame that on the Jimmy Garoppolo injury, and most of you will. But I think point blank and simple, even without Jimmy Garoppolo, that team should not have been as bad as they were last season, going 4-12. Can we finally figure out the 49ers now? We're going to try today. We're going to talk about their strengths, their weaknesses, give you some stat predictions, some bold predictions, and then get out of here with my final win-loss prediction for the San Francisco 49ers. So with that said, let's start by talking about their strengths, and let's start by talking about their defensive line. And good, something on the 49ers is a strength on defense, and this is already an improvement from last season. Nick Bosa, my boy from Ohio State, come on down. Oh man, this guy was selected in the 2019 NFL draft, and this guy is going to be an absolute beast at the next level. Potential future Hall of Famer drafted in San Francisco. He is going to join DeForest Buckner, who's been an absolute beast out of Oregon in that 15 NFL draft. He got also traded for Dee Ford, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs. This guy had his best season yet last year. You're trading for him at the absolute perfect time, and I'm still holding out hope. Maybe foolishly, but I'm holding out hope that my boy Solomon Thomas out of Stanford is still able to find himself on this 49er team, find his role, find his confidence, and be the player that I thought he could be coming out of Stanford. But regardless, just having those three, Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, and DeForest Buckner, you have to love the defensive line in San Francisco. You also have to love the tight end position. Now, only one of them are healthy right now, but that's all to care about. George Kittle, my goodness. Over 1,300 receiving yards last season, catching passes from quarterbacks that weren't very good when Jimmy Garoppolo went down from C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins. Did not matter. This guy burst onto the scene, and I'm crying because I wanted my favorite team, the Tennessee Titans, to take this guy in that 2017 NFL draft. They decided to take Jonnu Smith, and the 49ers took George Kittle, even though everyone looked at George Kittle in the combine and knew he was going to be something, and people still let him fall. I'll never understand it. Good for the 49ers for taking George Kittle. He finally burst onto the scene last year. However, you do have plenty of weaknesses on this 49er team, and to me, we have to start by looking at everything outside of the defensive line on defense. The defense stinks. Okay, point blank simple. You wonder why the 49ers were only able to muster 4 wins last season. The defense stinks. Okay, now they added Nick Bosa, and I'm excited for that. They added Quan Alexander, and I'm kind of excited for that. But that's about it. Now, there could be some other guys that show up, some later round draft picks, but I don't really like betting on those guys. You look at the linebackers right now, Fred Warner. He was a big part of why the defense was so unimpressive last season. Not a bad player at this point, but not a good one either. You have Nzacha at the linebacker position as well. This is not a guy that I'm very excited about. Cowboy fans may tell you something about him, but I'm not going to. We have an aging Richard Sherman. We have a bad Ahkello Witherspoon. I mean, at this point in his career, we just have to call Ahkello Witherspoon what he is. He's bad. He's not a good football player at this point in this league. I'm interested to see if Jason Verrett can stay healthy. Now, this guy could be someone to look at for at the cornerback position. The former LA Charger who had some great years for them, but could never stay healthy, stay on that football field. I'm looking out for him, but Jaquiski Tartt at the strong safety position, Adrian Colbert, this defense is just not very strong. There's a reason why they gave over 425 points last season. Now, the good thing is we're going to have quarterbacks, hopefully, on the other side who don't turn the football over as much. So that wouldn't actually help out the defense, and as will the addition of Nick Bosa. But it's still not going to be a good unit in the NFL. It's definitely the weakness for this football team. With that, so we move on to the X factor for this football team. And to me, it's going to be the wide receiver position. Now, I could have easily listed this as a weakness, and I have done this in other videos in this series where I'm not going to give the position the benefit of the doubt. But I really do like the wide receivers in San Francisco, even though a lot of them are unproven. I think there's just so much to like, and you're already seeing Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurts performing in preseason. Dante Pettis showed us a lot last season. Kendrick Bourne as well. Marquise Goodwin, now he struggled last year for sure, but he had a great season the year before that. I think with the combination of the talent that they have and the coaching of Kyle Shanahan, I don't think we have a problem here, and I'm very excited to see what happens here. This could even end up being a great positional unit, one that we look at and say this is one of the best young wide receiver units in the entire NFL. So a lot of people will say that this is a weakness for this team. I'm not buying it. I'm calling it the X factor for the 49ers. With that, so we move on to my statistical projections for the 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. So hopefully he's healthy. And if he is, 4,200 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 93.0 passer rate. Jimmy Garoppolo is proven to be a very interception-prone quarterback in this system. He was not for the New England Patriots, yes, but in this system, he had in that 6 games span in 2017, I want to say he had 5 interceptions, and last year he had a lot of interceptions as well before he got injured. So expect a lot of interceptions from Jimmy Garoppolo, but expect a lot of touchdowns as well. And a 93 passer rating, we'll take that right now. Running back Tevin Coleman, 160 carries, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Now, it's going to be hard to see what happens here, but, we'll have to just watch it. I'm not going to draft any of these guys in fantasy except for maybe Tevin Coleman, but with Matt Breida here as well as Jarek McKinnon, I would just stay away from this running back position, but that's what I got for Tevin Coleman. And then wide receiver Deebo Samuel. I do think he will lead the pack. And I have him down for 60 catches, 800 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And this is a great rookie year. And with that said, let's go and transition to my bold predictions. I think Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurts impress. You're already seeing nice things from Jalen Hurts. This is a guy that's just an athlete, man. Played running back early in his college career, converted to wide receiver. He's just a football player and one that can play well. And Deebo Samuel looks like a beast already in this league. I'm so excited to see what these guys do this upcoming season. We have Nick Bosa getting 8+ sacks for my second bold prediction. Again, I love Nick Bosa. I think he has a great year. I want to say double digits. I really, really do. But I'm just going to say 8+ and play it a little safe. And then bold prediction number 3, I think the 49ers will go down to New Orleans and beat the New Orleans Saints in Week 14. I think they have the firepower to do it, and that's what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to do Week 1 last year. Just have the firepower, have the moxie, have the balls, and Kyle Shanahan has plenty of that. So with that, let's move on to my season predictions for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I'm not going to say that the range is too wide here. Best case scenario, 10-6. I don't think it's 11-5. I don't think it's 12-4. I just don't think the defense is very good. And this shouldn't be shocking for me to say. But even if everything goes well, let's say Bosa gets double-digit sacks. Richard Sherman, again, he's aging. And, maybe he plays at Pro Bowl form. But the other cornerbacks I don't have faith in except for maybe Jason Garrett. There's just still a lot of work that needs to be done on defense. And the offense will be great. But even then, I think it's 10-6, especially in your division where the Cardinals right now, they're going to put up points on y'all. I think they may sneak a game from y'all. The Seahawks and the Rams, they've been playoff teams. They're not really going anywhere, although I'm a little lower on the Seahawks this year. I think it's only 10-6. I really do. It could be 11-5, but I only say like a 5% chance of that. And to me, it has to be at least 10% for me to write it down here. And the worst case scenario, 7-9. If Jimmy Garoppolo's healthy, come on, okay? It should be worst case scenario 7-9. Now my prediction is gonna be 8-8, and I know I should pick them to make the playoffs. I did that last year. How'd that work out? Okay, I was drinking the red Kool-Aid and I got burnt. And I know a lot of it was due to the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo was hurt, but not all of it. Because at the end of the day, this team still gave up over 420 points last year, and they didn't add much more on defense. And that scares the hell out of me. I look at you guys and I see the Atlanta Falcons of last year, who put up 419 points, but also gave up over 420 points, right? I think you guys are going to be in a lot of games, a lot of shootouts. It's going to be very fun to watch, but I still think there's going to be a lot of losses there. And this team is still a team that doesn't have much chemistry. I think it's going to take them a year to get really under the belt because Garoppolo has to learn Deebo. He has to learn Jalen Hurts. He has to learn Tevin Coleman. This is a new team. really offensively. So I think it's only 8-8, but then after this year, then the 49ers will then be ready to make that final playoff push and get in. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the San Francisco 49ers. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.